daily recitation. We are each inherently obliged to fulfill the law in human form, to be love. Love, or the spiritual and transcendental realization and incarnation of God, comes into expression on earth only through man, or else it does not appear at all. It is through man that the higher potential of earth and can be realized and shown. Therefore, do not aspire to what is merely active in the realm of nature. Do not aspire to the level of creatures and elemental processes. Do not aspire to the mediocrity and subhumanity of the usual man. Rather, be inspired and instructed by the spiritual master, the true man. Be inspired to incarnate love, ecstasy, divine communion, radiant life, and all the excellence of man in God. Transcend yourself in God love and fulfill the man by sacrifice or constant ecstasy. From the enlightenment of the whole body. The great principle of life practice. The usual man is narcissist, the self-possessed, the eternal adolescent. He is contracted upon himself at the heart. His willfulness is automatic, unconscious, bereft of the feeling intelligence. Therefore, he is weak-willed, unable to transcend himself through continuous growth, higher adaptation, and ecstasy, or enlightened self-surrender. The usual man is a problem. He is self-divided. All his alternatives contradict one another. He is always at war with the parts of his own experience. He is contracted upon the various functions of his own body-mind. He is in shock, suddenly existing as himself alone, unable to discover the truth of his own origin, help, and condition. The problem of the usual man is emotional dissociation. The body-mind or psychophysical being that is the usual man is automatically tending to contract upon himself, to be differentiated from all experiential phenomena, to possess and fill its emptiness with the objects of all experience, to protect itself with all knowledge, to separate itself from the mysterious emotional demand of all relations and events. The strategy of the usual man is the avoidance of relationship, the avoidance of free emotional association with all beings and events. Each function of the human body-mind is tending toward emotional dissociation from experience, and the root effort in all forms of psychophysical dissociation is emotional and total psychophysical contraction from the all-pervading life principle, the living being that is the truth and transcendental condition of the body, mind, and the world itself. The usual man is mysteriously committed to self-possessed emotional dissociation from the universal life energy, and therefore from all experience. Since all experiences, events, relations, and beings are arising as spontaneous manifestations or modifications of the universal life energy, the radiance or light that is the matrix and destiny of all forms of appearance and matter. The heart of the usual man, or the emotional psychic root being of the awakened individual, is chronically disturbed, contracted upon itself, dissociated from the universal life principle that is its own condition, help, and origin. Therefore, the body-mind or total psychophysical being that expresses the heart of the usual man is chronically disturbed, contracted upon itself, dissociated from all experience, all phenomena, all events, all relations, all beings, and even from the fulfillment of its own functional existence. The salvation or happiness of man is in emotional conversion, or the conversion of the heart from the automaticities of self-possession to the conscious realization of ecstasy, or self-transcending love communion with the universal principle or being that is life. Such emotional conversion is awakened through constant study and hearing of the teaching of truth, and constant seeing or intuiting of the living divine presence in the company of the God-realized man and the community of devotees of the living God. Our fundamental responsibility is literal and deep psychic love of the presence of life. We must surrender to life in order to be full of life. The life current is the Holy Spirit, the divine effulgence or grace whereby we may be transfigured and made one with the living and eternal divine reality. But we may be thus transformed only if we transcend all emotional contraction upon the self and instead radiate as love of the life principle or living person that is God. It is emotional conversion to life that heals our dis-ease, and one who is thus converted will naturally extend his enjoyment of free circulating life into disciplines that prevent toxemia and degenerative abuse of the structural body-mind. Right emotional submission to the life principle in every moment permits transcendence of enervating emotional and general psychophysical contractions. And right emotional submission to the life principle in every moment is the basic form of spiritual or religious practice. It is ecstasy or radiant release and transcendence of the self-contraction or ego obsession that separates us from life, or the grace and person and condition of the living God. Da. From the book Compulsory Dancing by Adidar Samraj. At that time he was known as Darfri John. Da.